What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Flame078 here with another Apex Legends video. Today we are dissecting a little experiment of becoming a TTV Wraith, essentially becoming those players, those sweats that literally only go for kills, to see what we could learn as normal gamers in picking up some of the habits of this mindset, the good ones, not the toxic ones. If you enjoy what I say in this video, been liking the Apex content I do everything from the normal perspective to give you guys a chance at grinding and becoming better at Apex. Make sure to hit that subscribe button as I release weekly videos. We'll be continuing on our second half of our 10 match rank challenge coming up too, so stay tuned for that. Like the video, share, and comment down below. What are your thoughts about the whole concept of being a sweat and being a kill lord in Apex Legends? But without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so leading up to this, the reason why this all came together, I started with a 10 match rank challenge, and I've been liking the idea of tackling high concepts from the normal perspective. So this time around, when I was doing my guides or tips again, where I talk about taking advantage of each mode in Apex Legends, essentially I wanted to make sure to give you guys information what you guys should be going for in each mode. But one thing that I realized that I personally haven't done is actually play as a TTV Wraith, as I'm calling it, but I never took advantage of the tips I gave when using public matches as, you know, a mode. Just to like recap, right? Arenas is great to practice your gun aim. The firing range is your personal aim lab trainer, and public matches is where you put everything together and you get your BR game sense. Something I personally just didn't take advantage of, because considering the limited time as a normal gamer I have, I'd rather warm up a little bit and dive into ranked matches instead of taking the time to warm up properly in public matches, right? I'll gain the experience I need that way. So that was really the reasoning behind it. And you know what, at first I was nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but once we got into the groove of it, it was a lot of fun. So we are in the thick of it. Death is the best thing I can describe my whole experience as I'm going into this mindset, playing the public matches as a TTV Wraith, simply because that's what's going to happen. These are the things I was actively avoiding. I was actively avoiding landing edge. I was actively avoiding sticking with my teammates if they were just looting. I was actively avoiding playing life. And when situations came up, like I got third partied, I was just pinched. These are things I was just conscious of, due to the fact that because I was just going for kills, all I cared about is who could I take advantage of in terms of getting that kill, right? But like I said, I was definitely nervous going into it, and as I was just consistently playing public matches, consistently going into this, got a little bit more comfortable. I got a little bit more loose. There were situations where I just started feeling I understood what was going on better per se. But more importantly, right, more importantly is the things that I picked up during the session, right? I picked up easily some good habits, gun swapping, right? Picking up guns I wasn't familiar with. Like I loved my R301. I was freaking flying with the R301, but I was also running wingman PK, something I never do because I'm not confident enough in yet, and I just didn't have that practice. Sure, I can aim train in the firing range with those guns, so that way if I needed to use them I could, but that's completely separate from actually using them in combat and crazy situation and using them as your main weapon. So I actively did that as well. So I actively picked up just any gun I could and started fighting with them, regardless if I was good with them or not. I actively just challenged myself. I was like, I saw a gun I liked, I stuck with the gun I didn't like. I was G7s, 30-30s, Peacekeepers, Evas, Mozambiques. Like, these are guns that I had varied success with, but at least I tried. I felt good in being able to at least get a kill or do damage and understand how it worked in a fight so I can aim properly with them. So those are things that I actively did, and overall by the end of the little experiment I felt really comfortable in it. And yes, I picked Wraith, the cliche sweat legend, even though I think now it's an octane at this point. But you know, you can apply this mindset to any legend. So that being said, let's talk about the lessons learned in this little experiment. Kills don't matter. Point blank. I felt like this for a while, but doing this experiment shows me how little kills matter, in the sense that you shouldn't be that intimidated by someone who has a ton of kills. Yes, it's reflective of their time sunk into the game. That is the portion you should figure out, but you shouldn't really equate that as a one-to-one to skill. Simply put, because majority of those kills, like my experience was taking advantage of what was going on. It was kind of RNG based. And yes, there is a difference between RNG kills and skill based, knowing when the third party and whatnot, taking advantage of that kind of stuff, which I know there's a really interesting kind of balancing act that you have to do. But a lot of my kills, like I was playing Wraith and I racked up 150 kills roughly during my little experiment, because I had a lot of matches where I was just 8, 9, 10, 11, some of my highest kill games came from this little experiment. It's all good. You should feel accomplished for doing that, but just understand that it's not truly an indication of skill, more so an indication of the mindset and the player's game sense rather than mechanical skill, if I were to put it that way. All right, it's more game sense and game understanding than mechanical skill, because at the end of the day, mechanically you can outperform someone if you know how to position better than them. The other lesson that I took away is, the whole experimenting that I did with the different guns. I feel much more relaxed now picking up shotguns in ranked, which is my main still mode game, right? I used to avoid them. I used to not run close range just because I felt like I needed to always run distance because I wanted to have that poking advantage. But now I felt a lot more comfortable, and we're going to see how this translates to some of my ranked games later on. But running close range, being the entry fragger, if you will, instead of being the more reserved player that I typically am, I feel like I have a little bit more confidence in that. And that's something that came out directly from this little experiment that I did. So if you want to look for a way to increase your confidence in fights, increase your confidence in playing not the way you normally play, do this little TTV Wraith challenge. I highly recommend it, due to the fact that after a while, like I'm telling you, it's not just sit there and play for an hour or two or whatnot and call it a day. I literally spent 2, 3, 4, 5 days just doing this. Like that's all I focused on, is just jumping in when I could play. And that's it. And mind you, when I say days, it's not like I'm doing 8 hours days as when I come home from work or whatnot. I'm not like a content creator where I sink in 8 hours like that, but the 2 to 3 hours that I did play on those days improved a lot. It mattered a lot. So those are the biggest things that I could take away from this whole experience. So if you guys enjoyed this video, learned something from my little experiment, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment down below of if you were to do a TTV sweat bag, I guess, challenge. I did Wraith because Wraith is one of those OGs. What legend would you do it for? Leave a comment down below, and I'll catch you guys real soon for my next Apex Legends video. Take care. I'll see you guys soon.